Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime professional astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, I will explain the significance of Pluto transiting into Aquarius, beginning on March 23rd, 2023. Get ready for the long-term sojourn in the sign of the water bearer until 2043. Stay tuned until the end of the episode when I give my predictions for Pluto's transit through Aquarius. Welcome to the episode on Pluto transiting into Aquarius. It is part 2 of the planetary paradigm shift, which initiates in March 2023 when Saturn transits into Pisces on March 7th, 2023 until 2026, and then Pluto pushes forth into Aquarius on March 23rd, 2023. These outer planet movements are big astrological news because, simply put, they will change life as we know it. These shifts will affect us personally and collectively. As two outer planets changing signs in the same month heralds new energies pouring into the collective. The last time Pluto transited Aquarius was from 1777 to 1798, which was the birth of America. Before Pluto becomes fully ensconced in Aquarius airspace for 20 years, it will play ping pong back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn until later in 2024. Here's the timing of Pluto's transit into Aquarius. The first phase occurs when Pluto enters the sign of Aquarius from March 23rd, 2023 to June 11th, 2023. It's stepping its foot into the Aquarian waves for a few months here, and then it will backtrack into Capricorn June 11th, 2023 until January 22nd, 2024, when it shifts back into Aquarius until September 2nd, 2024. So the first almost 9 months of 2024, we get the taste of Pluto and Aquarius. It goes back into Capricorn for a few months until November 20th, 2024, where it will platonically purge our world starting on November 20th, 2024 until March 9th, 2043, at which point it will weave in and out of Aquarius and Pisces, totally out of Aquarius in January 2044. So buckle up. We got a long trip with Pluto transiting through the sign Aquarius. And why are there so many dates with Pluto going very much in and out of Aquarius and back to Capricorn? Well, Pluto is very slow moving. It's the slowest moving planet. And with the retrograde, the backward movement, it only advances about 1 to 3 degrees per year, depending on the sign. So while Pluto flirts with Aquarius in 2023, it won't be consistently in the sign until late 2024. And then in all, Pluto will spend up to 20 years in the sign Aquarius. So we'll have plenty of time to understand the energetic. As astrologers, we have seen this pivotal pending plutonic purging for the past years, speculating on what will show up in our world. Well, it's here, and we can expect major changes in the world's power dynamics. On March 23rd, 2023, that's 32323, Pluto enters Aquarius, leaving Capricorn. And by leaving Capricorn, that marks the beginning of the end of one of the most intense planetary cycles of the last years when Pluto was transiting Capricorn. So let's think of what happened. It went into Capricorn back in 2008, and that aligned with an economic down cycle as it went in and brought the Plutonian purging into Capricorn sign of business and economics. And again, we had another down cycle while it transited through Capricorn financially in 2016 and again in 2022. Pluto in Capricorn delivered a world pandemic of COVID in 2020 and afterwards that changed life as we know it. And there have been many other collective karmic challenges, courtesy of Capricornian Pluto, since 2008. I don't know about you, but I'm so happy to be ending the era of Pluto in Capricorn. Again, to recap, when Pluto first entered in Capricorn in 2008, interestingly enough, the transition was marked by the most devastating financial crisis since the Great Depression. And the following 16 years featured a serious dismantling of traditional power structures. And as Pluto went through Capricorn, we saw widespread corruption of those in power on all levels. The old boys club came crashing down with the Me Too movement. Sex trafficking on a massive scale with participation by those in power, think Prince Andrew, was exposed and came into public awareness. Gender definition and equalities became big news. Unfortunately, during Pluto in Capricorn, the phenomena of shootings in public places like schools, churches, dance halls became a common occurrence in the United States, starting with Sandy Hook school shooting in 2012. So if we look, we basically have witnessed a breakdown in most societal structures during Pluto in Capricorn. So again, I'm glad it's going into Aquarius because Aquarius is the sign of progress and future. The last time Pluto passed through Aquarius was between 1777 and 1798, a revolutionary and transformative period of time that changed the way the world viewed power, governments, money, and society as a whole during that time. With the end of Pluto in Capricorn and the dawning of the age of Aquarius just on the horizon, we astrologers agree that this transit will be just as revolutionary as in the late 1700s, if not more. Pluto is the planet of transformation, and Aquarius is the sign of revolution. We better believe that once Pluto transits through Aquarius, life as we know it will be a thing of the past, and our society will change forever. Pluto rules death, transformation, and rebirth. And if a person is hit with a Pluto transit, after the transit, they will emerge as a different person. People may even comment that they don't look the same. Perhaps they became ill, or they lost someone close, or they took a financial loss or some other form of loss. Pluto purges us until we are down to the basics, and hopefully our ego is kicked to the curb. And that's what Pluto's point is. Get rid of ego, whether it's a collective or a personal ego. Pluto forces intense transformation. Not a simple change in how we look or who we hang out with, but a significant shift in our souls. Pluto is the planet of death, but also rebirth. Pluto forces shedding of our old identities and releasing perspectives that no longer serve us to make space for something better. So can you imagine the whole world going through a Plutonian purging? That's what's going to start happening in March 2023. This is an impactful transit, and everyone will feel it. Aquarius, the sign, and Pluto, the planet, are both about regeneration, and their combined energies have incredible power to advance humanity on a global scale. The good news is that this will be a process and will go in stages. It's not going to happen overnight. We have a good 20 years to watch this unfold around us. What we can expect in those 20 years are worldwide changes in science, technology, and space travel. Would not be surprising to see while Pluto's in Aquarius. I still think they need to take care of air travel and make it more seamless, but more on that rant later. There will be a rise in humanitarianism and focus on taking care of the group. The most powerful people in the new Pluto paradigm will be those who work together and who value the lives, feelings, and experiences of others. Governments and systems that have worked against each other in the past can find common ground during this transit to forge new alliances for the future. The day of the greedy megalomaniac is gone. You know, those kind of guys who are buying up all the plant seeds or secretly launching the next big pandemic or global crisis. Yeah, they won't do so well in the Pluto and Aquarius energy. Neither will those old pervs and good old boys club, i.e., the global elite, who want to run the world, keep all the world's wealth among a few families, sex traffic children, and take away women's rights. We see you. Pluto and Aquarius makes it transparent. The old paradigms, politically, economically, and otherwise, won't fly when the populace sees through it and won't be fooled again. The theme that we are all in this together will be strong during Pluto's transit of Aquarius. We will also see the face of leadership change. Bye-bye, Pluto and Capricorn oligarchs. Bye-bye, Putin. Bye-bye, Trump. Bye-bye, Biden. No new world for old men. In fact, women will be in charge. God is back, and boy, is she pissed. But the truth is that historically, when Pluto has changed from Capricorn to Aquarius, women took over power. Here are some examples from history. When Pluto goes into Aquarius, women replace men as leaders, as is what happened historically. When Pluto was in Aquarius, from February 12th, 1532 to December 12th, 1553, the future Queen Elizabeth I was born on September 7th, 1533, and ironically replaced King Henry VIII in the grand scheme of things and his obsession with a male heir. The Church of England was also born with Pluto in Aquarius in 1534 and would eventually admit women priests. So we got some good things to look forward to as far as who's going to be in charge. So some more history about Pluto transiting Aquarius. The last time Pluto was in the sign Aquarius was from 1777 to 1798. Let's look back on history and what happened there. Oh yeah, the United States was born. On the 3rd of September, 1783, Britain signed the Treaty of Paris and gave independence to America, courtesy of Pluto and Aquarius. In 1777, the Second Continental Congress Agreement set up a firm league of friendship between the new United States. And the whole idea of friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood was all there with Aquarius. The U.S. Constitution was adopted on the 17th of September, 1787, and amended 27 times since then. So we might be seeing it become amended again, the United States Constitution, with the new Pluto and Aquarius cycle from 2023 through 2044. The other interesting thing that happened worldwide was that modern Australia was born on 13th of May, 1787. During this cycle, the first fleet of settlers, including 778 convicts, left Britain for New South Wales, Australia. And so here is the beginning of another nation like America that was invented during Pluto and Aquarius. And another historical event that was big was liberty, equality, and fraternity, the rallying cry of the French Revolution of 1789. The storming of the Bastille on the 14th of July, 1789, was a Pluto and Aquarius event. Freedom, liberty, fraternity, all Aquarian keynotes, and equality. So that's a lot to chew on. We had very powerful international events and births of nation occur when Pluto was transiting through Aquarius some 240 years ago. So we have a lot to look forward to in this cycle. And when we look at the planet Pluto, when it goes through our personal lives, if you are an early degree fixed sign such as Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, or Scorpio, Pluto will touch your natal sun. So if you're a January Aquarian, if you are a April Taurian, if you are a July Leo, or an October Scorpio, Pluto will touch you in the next few years. And so what it will do personally is transform your view of yourself and your place in the world. Pluto in Aquarius will have you die to be reborn as something better. So when Pluto decides to go retrograde, the first time being June, going backwards into Capricorn, we're going to be forced to look at the shadowy parts of ourselves, meaning personally and collectively, that are hidden away. And so when Pluto does go retrograde for the several times it will in Aquarius, it's asking the collective to confront the antiquity of established, outdated systems and to take action around issues of control, stand up to misuse of power related to individuality, equality, and freedom. And Pluto will have certain mechanisms of society begin to break down so that people can see these no longer serves. So with the retrograde, it might be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And again, this is going to go on throughout the 20-year transit of Pluto transiting in Aquarius. But generally, this transit is a transformation of ideals. When Pluto goes forward in Aquarius, actually the whole time, it will continue to unfold a new era of transforming negativity or toxicity in the realm of politics, humanitarianism, social justice, science, technology, social media, and the internet. We're going to be coming up against freedom and freedom of speech, and where people may try to be limited or restricted, thus the revolutionary energies can pop. So it all has to do with power and control versus freedom. When Pluto transited through Capricorn, it revealed Capricorn's shadowy themes of power and control. And so as Pluto transits through Aquarius, we'll see the dark side of Aquarius, which are problems around emotional detachment or rebellion or futuristic, such as artificial intelligence, the shadow side of Pluto and Aquarius, and the immersion into technology even more. Let's face it, most kids born after 2000 will grow up with a disassociation disorder unless they limit their screen time. So you amp that up times 100 and you have a society of disconnected people, unless the Pluto in Aquarius does start limiting people's immersion into technology. Our society has become too comfortable too fast with having technology take over their lives. Yeah, it was convenient at first. Now it's downright invasive and creepy. Like when you talk about the new car you like to get and then ads for it show up on Facebook. We might as well figure that all our devices are small spy bots, whether you like it or not. And Alexa, who knows what that creep is doing in your house, observing and listening to your every move, ready to recant back every detail to whoever unloads her data bank? Artificial intelligence may continue to take over our lives unless something is done to stop it. Same thing as tech. It starts out convenient because you have something to vacuum your floor, and then it's asking your boyfriend out on a date in your stead. Aquarius is the sign of humanitarianism, and we may see a backlash to the equality of everyone, which is another shadow side of the Aquarian equal opportunity maker, especially if certain groups that were entitled are now missing out on goods or overlooked for societal benefits. So, some of the shadow, again, to recap, would be the AI, the over immersion in tech taking over our lives, and the detachment of people from what's really going on in front of them, as well as the over humanitarianism helping out some of the populace and not the rest, and creating some inequities. So Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during a period of massive change all over the world. And after dealing with the authoritative and restrictive reach of Pluto and Capricorn, this change couldn't come at a better time. Pluto represents themes surrounding destruction, death, and rebirth, while Aquarius represents revolution, rebellion, and reshaping humanity. Pluto's role is to keep the engine of the universe going by eliminating what no longer can sustain life. If something is rotten, Pluto will eliminate it and leave space for a healthy growth. Pluto in Aquarius will spend its time shaking up all our preconceived notions and beliefs about society, technology, social media, and more. And you can expect things to become even tenser when these transits ignite the flames of change and begin the decentralization of existing power structures. And there's going to be some other transits during Pluto in Aquarius where other key planets will move through Aries. So while Pluto's in Aquarius, Jupiter will be in Aries in 2023, and then Saturn will come in 2025 to 2028, and then Neptune from 2025 to 2039. The situation with Aries is that it's a sign of passion and aggression. So this could really turn up the heat and have people vying for what they think is right. Pluto in Aquarius symbolizes the end of the process that Pluto in Capricorn began, with conversations around social justice, environmental change, and more brewing in the air. Pluto in Aquarius will act as the final push toward change. Stay tuned to find out what my predictions are when Pluto transits Aquarius. And now, welcome to the part of the episode where I will share my predictions for Pluto transiting through Aquarius. And right off the top, right now in 2023, Pluto in Aquarius, please fix air travel. Aquarius is an air sign, so I'm hoping the first area of business will be to improve air travel. Let's forget about Elon Musk and space travel for now. I just want to be able to get a stress-free flight from Boston to DC, and then we'll take it from there. Seriously, air travel has become the biggest cluster in the past few years. They got a break and a bailout during COVID, and then the airlines came back and all hell breaks loose. Pluto in Aquarius is going to help all kinds of technologies, for God's sakes, including cars. Maybe there will even be flying cars before the airlines get it right. But let's urge the powers that be to fix the airline industry and all those outdated planes and systems. Can you say Southwest Airlines, anyone? And that fiasco during the holidays in 2022 when Southwest's circa 1990s system couldn't handle the travel. So, Pluto in Aquarius, first orders of business, especially here in the United States. Fix air travel, fix the planes, hire new crews and pilots, and don't give them for not having vaccines. And let's make that futuristic air travel vision come true like we used to watch in the 1960s and 1970s on TV, but modernize for 2023, and let's start flying around the world. It would be cool if Pluto and Aquarius could make some new futuristic planes that get there much faster and with minimal waiting to board. And oh yeah, by the way, fix the airports too. And the process of getting to, boarding, and deboarding from planes. Our societies are evolved enough to make this seamless, so let's start now. Okay, the air, planes, airports, all of that, so important. Next order of business, Some cool futuristic cars, like streamlined Batmobiles that run on not gas, but are running on environmentally friendly substances, could be cool. And the charging stations to fill up stations are easy to access. Don't make them AI cars. People still need to be awake behind the wheel and enjoy the freedom of driving themselves somewhere. And yeah, space travel, it's going to happen. It'll be cool for civilians. Not high on my list. I'd rather have air travel and airplanes or jets perfected first. We will be seeing some new breakthroughs in things like community gardens or community farms, where neighbors can share vegetables, herbs, marijuana, and whatever else is being grown in the community green spots. And people can take turns cultivating and growing the foods and goods for their community. There will be a focus coming back onto healthy, organic, homegrown, local food. There might even be some experimental gardening, like the Findhorn Project, which occurred in Scotland during the late 1960s through 1970s, where a community of hippie like people took a barren stretch of land in Scotland and turned it into abundant and fecund gardens, which became a community known as Findhorn and still exists to this day. Also, there could be cool community living places, especially for older people, where they can live together in like minded communities, unlike the traditional senior living housing or communities. These senior or older people's places will be green and they may have gardens on them where the seniors can grow food and share and smoke the marijuana together in common areas. The senior living spaces also have recreational areas, dining areas, indoors and outdoors, interface with nature, and offer yoga and holistic health interventions for residents. The baby boomers are aging and they aren't going to go silently into the dark night. They want all their bells and whistles. They want those holistic healers on hand in their senior living place and other bennies. Speaking of older people, aging will be fun with Pluto and Aquarius because Pluto rules death, transformation, rebirth, and Aquarius is the sign of the future. And the focus will be on keeping vital and the mind alert with regenerative therapies. Pluto rules regeneration, and Aquarius rules the mind. In fact, this theme of regeneration and keeping the mind sharp will be important throughout age groups to counter the invasiveness of tech and unhealthy nutrition. I'm pretty sure there will be a big shift in the educational systems. Well, there kind of has to be here in the United States. Aquarius is futuristic and loves education, especially that which fulfill future needs and generations. So the educational systems, all levels, including university, will undergo a major reformation in order to meet the needs of our impending future societies. These kids will have to get their earbuds off and start paying attention to nature and their surroundings. Get out of that tech landscape and walk out on the earth. Teaching about nature and earth consciousness will become part of the curriculums, like it was in the 1970s before the Reagan era blasted it all away. The other area where we will see big advances, of course, is medical. So many new medical technologies and devices will be invented and come into application in hospitals and clinics. They will be time-saving and also be able to detect disease earlier and treat it earlier. I'm sure some cures to cancer will be found, but Big Pharma will still be in charge, so remember, people can't be cured without their interventions. Which also means the vaccine train will be driving faster, as Big Pharma is chomping at the bit to vaccine the hell out of everything. We could also see a true Aquarian uprising where people stand up to take back their own health. Don't put baby in a corner and certainly don't give them a jab. Alternative healing devices and technologies will become more abundant, such as Rife machines, far infrared technologies, all of which currently exist, and more, but there will be more and they will become more popular among the mainstream. Also, we will see a revolution in the economic and financial markets. The day of cryptocurrency has arrived as it begins to infiltrate the mainstream. I'm not saying other currencies will disappear, but crypto will come of age and have a place in society among the big boys. So get ready. There's a lot to look forward to as our society regenerates and changes and morphs into the future. Pluto in Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pluto's transit through Aquarius. Make sure you subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, sending plutonic Aquarian waves into the quantum field.